we just use the power of friendship, we can defeat the forces of evil once and for all.
Well said.
Welcome one and all to the annual scalping ceremony.
Scalping?
A ceremony where we will show that the troll empires will never bend a knee for
Oh my
others.
goodness.
And to start this ceremony, we shall begin with the non-believers.
Sweating.
Pay close attention, kids. Trolls are known for their masterful scalping.
All right, now, guys. Let me drink some more water real quick. Guys, I know we've been having a blast watching all the orcs and whatnot, but it's about time we went back to the trolls. Okay? Okay, I can't just sit here and learn all about orcs. I gotta go back to the trolls, learn about other lore of other races. Trolls are alright. They're alright. They're alright. I mean, they cool. They cool. Okay? The orcs, they something else. I don't want to put them in the same category, but the trolls are cool. Now, I'm just playing around. Yeah, I forget whoever commented or told me to react to this. I forgot their names, but thank you for putting the link down below. I'm pretty sure you're the first to ever do that. Thank you. So now I know that I'm reacting to the right video. Let's get straight into it. This is titled Biggest Losers of Warcraft. Huh. The biggest losers, huh? It's crazy.
What's doing over there? What? Oh.
Let's start from the beginning. This
Now,
dude is an amazing storyteller. I like
the
his
Zandalari
videos, and I don't know
scalping
how he does
ceremony is
this
starting
little
in a couple
animated
of minutes,
scenes,
so
but
we need
it's
to
really
be
good
quick.
too.
Mr. Arklid, what are those trolls doing over there? What? Oh, those are the Gurbashi. They're being mind-controlled against their will. You know, normal stuff.
Dang.
You know what? Let me see. I suppose we have some time to explain this embarrassing excuse for a tribe. Gather around, children. Our story starts 1,500 years ago in the lands of Stranglethorn. This dense jungle is where the Gurbashi tribe lived. They were once a booming empire during the Trolls' reign on Azeroth, but since the Sundering they've remained in the jungles of Stranglethorn and the surrounding islands. But this tropical life wasn't sipping pina coladas and enjoying a nice day at the beach. Instead, life was about getting caught in the rain, having your friends get mauled by tigers, and not eating for the past 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
It sucked.
He's crying.
The trolls turned to aid of some mysterious god called Hakar the Soul Flare. The priests that worshipped him were called the Hakari, and in exchange for sacrificed souls, he'd bestow the trolls with his power. In hindsight, fueling God with living sacrifices doesn't seem like a good idea, but it was kind of the troll's only option. Until eventually he demanded to be summoned into the physical world so that he may feast on the blood of his victims firsthand. Those victims being every creature on Azeroth, including the trolls that worship him.
Dang!
A majority of the Hakari
Trolls are so
were like,
tragic, dude!
but a fanatical group called the Autelai worked on summoning the Soul Flare. The Gurbashi, with the help of the Zandalari, kicked out not only the Autelai priests, but also a lot of the less fanatical Hakari, and the priests went to go make a temple to continue their worship in the Swamp of Sorrows. After this bloody civil war, the Gurbashi tribe was split into 4 different entities that battled over control of the jungle. One remained as the Gurbashi tribe, but you also have the Bloodscalp, the Skull Splitters, and the Darkspear. Conveniently, the Bloodscalp and Skull Splitters colored their hair red and blue so we could tell them apart, and the Darkspear, well, they were a tribe of the biggest betas in all of Stranglethorn. Their small size and peaceful nature made them easy targets for the other tribes, and their history was filled with famine and brutal losses in battle. Eventually, the tribe had enough torment and sailed off into the sunset, where they'd eventually join the Horde. Them migrating actually happened after the Dark Portal was opened, so hundreds and hundreds of years in the future, but I just wanted to mention it now to make the video go smoother. I mean, make the story time go smoother. Anyways, hundreds of years passed, and up in the north, the humans of Stormwind want to expand their kingdom. At this time, Berathan Rin was the king of Stormwind, and his tactic was just to have a bunch of troops set up camps in Stranglethorn and just turtle up like it's a game of Warsong Gulch. Berathan thought that this would be the best non-aggressive tactic, and the trolls would kind of just let them begrudgingly stay there, but that was definitely not the case. Troll raiding parties grew larger and larger, and eventually they'd even slip past the human defenses and raid their settlements. So what was King Berathan Rin's response to this? Just keep playing defensively, guys.
What?
We got this. Spoilers,
okay,
they did not have it. Prince Lane grew more and more frustrated with his father's non-aggressive approach and strongly advocated the humans bring the fight to the trolls before more innocents died. The breaking point was when a troll raiding party breached into the farmlands of Westfall and burned down a total of 3 towns to the ground. Eventually, the trolls would be killed off, but it was clear that something needed to change. The king gathered only the most intelligent nobles and came up with a plan. Hello, citizens of Stormwind. I have decided in order to stop these invading savages breaching our lands, we must continue to play defensively and let the trolls bully us. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that's some bullcrap.
Prince Lane was livid with his father's decision.
I would too.
So he decided to take matters into his own hands. Behind his father's back, Prince Lane worked with Anduin Lothar, commander of the Alliance, and Medivh, and ventured into Stranglethorn to end this war once and for all. Now, here's the deal. Medivh is powerful. Like, powerful. Like, he's the chosen one who should be protecting the whole world from catastrophic events. This whole petty war between trolls and humans was far below what he was destined to do. So when the 3 of them snuck into Stranglethorn, he just fucking destroyed the trolls and their leader.
Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Golly, I thought since it was just 3 of them, it would have been a struggle, but... Ready for action. He's dancing. That's crazy.
Lane and Lothar didn't know Medivh was that powerful, and the 3 of them dusted off their hands and went back to Stormwind. Our job here is done. But you guys didn't do anything.
Right?
Yep. But the Gurubashi were not going to take this beating just lying down. Shortly after, an overwhelming army of trolls pushed forward to the gates of Stormwind. Prince Lane confessed to his father what he and his 2 allies did behind his back, and the king made the honorable decision to not to play defensively for once, and blindly charged into the heart of the troll army to kill their leader, and died in the process.
Oh my goodness, man!
Prince Lane felt like he was responsible for his father's death, and begged Medivh for another get-out-of-jail-free card, and Medivh agreed.
This dude's awesome. I want to learn more about him.
And then all the trolls got utterly destroyed. But I'd just like to say the Gurubashi probably could have won if the humans didn't have, I don't know, the Warcraft version of Superman on their team. So I think it's like a bit unbalanced.
That's funny, man.
Fortunately, 70 years or so pass and the Dark Portal is opened, and the Gurubashi finally get the taste of victory. The Bleeding Hollow clan attempted to take over Stranglethorn, but surprisingly the trolls pushed them out. Which I know, amazing, the trolls actually have the ability to win a war. So let me just...
Look at the score, bro, man. That's so
Anyways,
sad.
where was I? Cut the Classic and the Gurubashi are still weak and decide, you know what, just fuck it, bro. We're just gonna worship Hakar. Players go in, we kill a bunch of trolls and Hakar. Then in Cataclysm, one boss named Jindo the Hexer enslaves Hakar and renames himself into Jindo
The Godbreaker.
Oh my goodness. That's a cool name.
Of course, we kill him, and over time the Gurubashi have just been whittled down more and more. A witch doctor by the name of Uljamba had a vision of the Zandalari Empire's downfall. This vision was false, by the way. So, in preparations for this doomsday event, he enslaved the remaining Gurubashi trolls and found refuge in Zandalar and used them for slave labor to stockpile rations of food. Horde players put a stop to this and massacre the Gurubashi trolls, who were basically used as cannon fodder. And that's the Gurubashi, which is pretty depressing, isn't it, kids? I know. So, come along, we don't want to be late. I hear if we get front row for the scalping ceremony, we might even be in the bloody splash zone. Whew, that will be exciting. So, Mr. Arklin, is there any happy story about the trolls?
Right?
What?
It's so tragic, man.
Of course. Probably. Let me see. No. Definitely not. No. Okay, here's one. This is the story of the Moss Flayer tribe. Back during the Second War, a lot of forest trolls allied with the Horde. The Horde at this time was an extremely powerful but also extremely volatile faction, filled with backstabbing and conflicting ideals. So after the war, many of the trolls broke off from the Horde and preferred to stay very isolationist and kill any other race on sight. And this is what the Moss Flayers did. This tribe of trolls was on the border of the human lands of Lordaeron, and during the Third War, it was absolutely ravaged by the plague of undeath. Other races would see this as a great threat that would surely come for them as well, but the trolls saw an amazing opportunity.
I can't do it!
So while the kingdom of Lordaeron was battered and bruised, the Moss Flayers were on the sidelines, poking them with a stick to ensure the Pinkskins' downfall. And while the plague didn't have an effect on the trolls, it was hard to deny that it did have an effect on their environment and the creatures within it. Unfortunately, a troll hunting party killed some animals and feasted on their flesh, which was cursed by a lich that turned them all into undead. So plague-infected grain doesn't work on trolls. Cursed bear ass, now that works on trolls. And a troll named Hamer was now a slave to this mysterious lich and was compelled to return back to the Moss Flayers' home of Zul-Mashar.
I thought this was supposed to be a good story about trolls.
During Classic, the encampment is filled with shallow graves, signifying that the Moss Flayers were easily brought to their knees by this infectious disease. And come to think of it, wow, that isn't happy at all.
Right? That's what, what I'm saying.
Down south a bit, there is the Revan-Tusk and the Vile Branch. Now, the Revan-Tusk have actually remained allies with the Horde, which gives the Horde a foothold in the hinterlands, and the Trolls a ridiculous amount of firepower. The problem is, the Revan-Tusk are seen as cowards for bending a knee to such disgusting Horde filth, and the fanatical Vile Branch tribe has taken a liking to kidnapping these trolls and using them for sacrifices.
Oh, dang.
But since the Revan-Tusk are allies with the player character, of course the Vile Branch gets annihilated. And yeah, I guess that's the happiest troll story in history, so...
Sad. That is sad.
Ooh, that's High Speaker Malacroz. He's the last Drakari troll in all of Azeroth. And he's also the grumpiest, with good reason. The Drakari was once an immensely powerful empire located in what we'd eventually call Northrend. The empire was well known for their strong connection to the Loa and established the lands of Zul'jin, which was filled with monolithic temples and complex aqueducts. The Drukhari lived in relative peace for thousands of years, but we all know these trolls were not the only residents in Northrend. During the wrath of the Lich King, Arthas and his Scourge armies were at full force, and the undead threat eclipsed over the Drukhari's once mighty empire. Don't get me wrong, the Drukhari Empire was strong, but at the end of the day, it was a bunch of trolls with sticks fighting against a floating necropolis that can shoot laser beams.
You didn't stand a chance.
The first Drukhari fortress to fall was Draktheron Keep, which is now infested with the Lich King's undead minions. At the end of the dungeon, there is a troll named Drakaru who betrays his people, and the Lich King grants him power which makes him big and scary. But meanwhile, us as the player characters kind of just awkwardly watch while this whole event is happening and we don't really do anything about it. But despite the keep being easily disposed of, the Drukhari would not give up that easily. Deep within the capital of Gundrak, fanatical prophets have begun sacrificing their own gods for untold power. A power that is the
How do you
only
sacrifice
thing
your
stopping
own
the
god,
trolls
man?
from being fully consumed by the might of the Scourge.
Ooh. Well, they did it.
Who needs gods when we are gods?
But they
I'm
happened.
the literal fucking god.
These trolls are now fueled with incredible, unmatched strength, and in their hubris, they warred with not only the Scourge, but also the Argent Dawn and the Ebon Blade, who didn't want to kill the trolls. They just want to kill the Scourge just like the Drukhari, and this is the biggest mistake the Drukhari ever made, because this means that they are at war with the player character. And we haven't lost in 15 goddamn years. We go into Gundrak, and before we talk about anything, we need to talk about the tail. Since this dungeon's inception, players have talked about this gigantic snake tail. Whose tail is it? How did it get here? Why is it here? Well, at BlizzCon 2011, we got an answer from Chris Metzen himself.
If you look over the cliff, there's a big wiggly snake tail. So I brought a screenshot of it. I blew it up.
That's the first sign of the return of the Titans. And Medivh will be them.
The forums will be holding you
And
to
Thrall
that.
is going to leave Agra and start Jaina. I don't know what the hell that snake thing is, but it's kind of cool.
Okay, well, I guess it's just there to look cool. So, let's go kill some crazy trolls.
There was a point in Mitch.
It's gonna rend your flesh.
Get ready for something much bigger. I'm gonna spill your guts.
That's crazy. Golly, man.
I'm literal fucking dead.
The Drukhari's downfall in Wrath of the Lich King is probably the biggest troll downfall in the history of Azeroth. In BFA, there's exactly one Drukhari alive named Malakraz. One single troll who has to carry the weight of his fallen empire. Alone. Longing for the snowy mountains of Northrend, where his people once lived in peace. But you know what, kids? Maybe a lesson can be learned about all these stories. You know, in this crazy world of Azeroth, filled with an endless amount of things wanting to kill you, we need each other. Being alone and unaccepting of others only leads to your downfall. Our differences are our biggest strength, and if we just use the power of friendship, we can defeat the forces of evil once and for all.
Well said.
Welcome one and all to the annual scalping ceremony.
Scalping.
A ceremony where we will show that the troll empires will never bend a knee for
Oh my
others.
goodness.
And to start this ceremony, we shall begin with the non-believers.
The non-believers. Sweating.
Pay close attention, kids. Trolls are known for their masterful scalping.
Oh my freaking goodness, man. They look terrible. Oh my goodness.
But what I need from you right now is for you to say it, and I also need like you to go on full cam so I can get your face too.
And
then if you could just like look to the left a little bit, and then say your line.
Sub to the Platinum Mouse.
Alright. You know, I haven't subscribed to this dude yet. I should subscribe, for sure. Definitely. I'm gonna be watching more of his videos. Gotta subscribe. Oh my goodness. I like this dude's videos. He's an amazing storyteller. Oh man. Trolls, man. The most tragic race in World of Warcraft. That's so sad. I do want to learn more about that one dude he was talking about. What was his name? Him. Forgot his name. Him. This dude. Yeah. I want to learn more about him. Who the heck is he? He said he's the Superman of this world. That means he's crazy strong. The strongest. Alright. That's cool. Listen. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like if you did enjoy it. And subscribe if you plan on sticking around. Hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload. And I guess I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.